Okay, so we're going to be covering section 2.5 today, which is if-then statements and deductive reasoning, and we're going to jump right in, okay? So a if-then statement is called a conditional statement, okay? A conditional statement with two parts. The if part contains the hypothesis. Oops, broke my pencil. And the then part contains the conclusion. So you're going to have a starting piece, which is your hypothesis, an ending piece, which is the conclusion. Okay? So the hypothesis is considered the if part of the statement. It's anything that comes after the word if. The conclusion is going to be considered the then part of the statement. Anything that comes after the word then. Okay? Deductive reasoning, this is reasoning that is based on factual information, such as definitions, accepted properties, and laws of logic. Conclusions must be true. So we are using deductive reasoning skills based on information that we know. Okay? So today's is pretty simple. It says, identify the hypothesis and conclusion in each statement. Underline the hypothesis once and the conclusion twice. So they want us to underline. Okay, remember the hypothesis comes after the word if, and the conclusion comes after the word then. So we look for those two keywords. Okay, so it says, first one, if I pass the driving test, then I will get my driver's license. The hypothesis comes after the word if, so it's I passed my driving test. The conclusion comes after the word then. I will get my driver's license. Notice that I did not underline the word if or the word then. It's blank underneath because it's everything after those words. Next one says, I can't sleep if I'm not tired. This one is in a different order, but what we know is that hypothesis is always after the word if. So where's if in the statement? It says, I can't sleep if I'm not tired. Okay, so I'm not tired is the hypothesis. I can't sleep is the conclusion. When I'm not tired, I can't sleep. Okay, the next one says, if today is Friday, then tomorrow is Saturday. Okay, the hypothesis comes after what word? The word if. So it's today is Friday. The conclusion comes after the word then. Tomorrow is Saturday. I want you to pause the video and try to do the next three and then come back and check it. So it says, I will buy your car if it can be bought for under $1,500. Okay, so the hypothesis is after the word if. It can be bought for under $1,500, then I will buy your car. Okay, kind of in a different order. If E is between D and F, then DE plus EF equals DF. This is that segment addition postulate. We wouldn't necessarily have to draw a picture, but this is what they're saying. Little plus little equals big, which we know is true. So hypothesis is E is between D and F. The conclusion is DE plus EF is equal to DF. Okay. The next one says angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 if the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 2. The hypothesis is after the word if. The conclusion would be the other part of that statement. Okay. The last section says we're going to rewrite the statement as an if-then statement. Underline the hypothesis once and the conclusion twice. Okay, so the first one says, every game on my computer is fun to play. So we have to think of how we could write it so it makes sense. I could say, if a game is on my computer, then it is fun to play. So I'm really just rewriting the statement with if and then in there. Okay, the hypothesis comes after the word if, and they want us to underline the hypothesis once. So this is, a game is on my computer. The conclusion comes after the word then, so it is fun to play is my conclusion. Okay, the next one says, I will buy the CD if it costs less than $15. Okay, now they already have that word if in there, so we're just going to start our statement with that piece right there. So we're going to say, if a CD costs less than $15, then I will buy it. Okay, what is the hypothesis? A CD costs less than $15. The conclusion is I will buy it. Okay, 2 left. So it says an angle is obtuse if its measure is 170 degrees. Okay, so this one, once again, kind of misleading. It's got that word if in there, so we're going to move this piece up to the front. So we're going to say if, what are we talking about? We're not just going to say if its measure is 170 degrees. We want to know what is it. So we're going to say if an angle measures 170 degrees, then it is obtuse. Okay, the hypothesis is an angle measures 170 degrees. The conclusion is it is obtuse. Okay, the last one says all teachers at BVHS have taught for at least 4 years. Okay, so we could say if, what would we be talking about? We're talking about teachers. So if a person teaches at BVHS, then they have taught for at least 4 years. The hypothesis always comes after the word if, so that would be a person teaches at BVHS. The conclusion comes after the word then, so they have taught for at least 4 years is our conclusion. Okay. Assignment for today is a worksheet, and you can find the worksheet on Google Classroom.